Welcome, Cancer, to your love reading for September of 2018. All right, dealing with your love life. Now, we want to look into what's going on. All right, I'm going to do something a little bit different. All right, so energy for Cancer and love for August, well, September 2018. All right, Cancer. So overall energy, person coming towards you, your response, their response, your response, advice, outcome. Okay. Hold on. All right. So the overall energy between you and them, I feel like there might be some issues, either getting laid off, kind of taking a break, not really being that enthusiastic about the job that you might have, or vice versa. So there might be some issues with being dedicated and devoting energy to keeping a relationship going in some way. So sometimes this could be like, being fired, laid off, or just having issues with getting the job, or keeping a stable job between you and the other person. It just depends on who has it, who doesn't. All right, that might be an issue. Now, what might they be bringing towards you? They're not communicating. All right, they might not be communicating a lot throughout the month. It just depends. Now, especially in the beginning of it, and I feel like this is not them not telling the truth, or really not being honest about how they feel when it comes to you, and it might have to do with work. All right, and that's the reason why they may not be communicating, because they feel like it's just too much, maybe, to be in a kind of relationship or a connection with you. It might be too much of a strain, or the fact that they might be searching for a job or income or employment, vice versa, you as well, and that might be the reasons why they're not letting you know. So maybe keeping some things under the rug, under the radar. All right, what is your response? You might be having issues around the home. All right, maybe going through a divorce, a separation or breakup, and this might just be the fact that if you do have a home, that both of you could be having arguments and disputes and things like that, not communicating under the same roof, not talking to one another. So there may be some issues with that arrangement. All right, now what is your response? Their response. So some of them, they might want to be closer to you. All right, in some way they might even lean on you for financial support, and you might be tired of that, or they might be leaning on someone else for financial support. If you're not around that particular person, that what could be going on, because they're in a marriage or relationship that's breaking down, and you're kind of being distracted emotionally because of what's happening on their end, so to speak. So I feel like, yes, even if you are around a particular person, you might love them, you might really be into them, you have deep emotions for them, but they might not be holding up their end of the bargain, especially when it comes to financial security, and you might just kind of push things under the rug and say it's okay, and you let them know about how you might be feeling about certain things, but they never make those changes, and you continue to accept it every now and then. So that could definitely be an issue. All right, so be careful with that. All right, so I had to pause. Now, this is your advice. Now, your response. So I did it a bit differently this time. So where there could be issues with borrowing money. Money is a big matter that's going on, maybe with you and someone else right now, especially when it comes to children not being approved for a certain loan for a dream that you might actually want. Things not going through because your credit might be bad, or something might be broken, or someone might owe you something and it's not happening. Someone is not paying you back right now. So some of you could be dealing with something like that, where either you or someone else is not holding their end of the bargain up, and they're potentially trying to work things out, but they may continue to run into obstacles over and over again, having to pay for the rent, child support, traveling, different things like that, taking care of themselves. And I feel like they might not really be strong enough at this time to do those kind of things. So there might really be some issues there. Now, what is the advice? Now, your advice is to use your intuition when I'm speaking to you about these things, and you kind of feel like, okay, these things might be going on, and I feel like that's definitely part of what's happening, and with the things that need to change, you'll start to feel it. They'll reveal themselves in due time. And also, your dreams might be very significant this month that let you know about what I'm speaking about right here. So just hold tight, try to be strong with those things, and especially if you're dealing with a partner who might be having issues with staying strong or dedicated to keep the relationship healthy in certain ways, so that you can, go out and do things that you want together. It does take that you put in the effort and the hard work. So I feel like that's important for some. So the outcome is the 8 of Swords in reverse. So definitely either two things: breaking away from a marriage or a relationship that's not really moving in the right direction, or you're changing your perspective about the reasons why your partner is not communicating with you. And I feel like that's part of the reason, most definitely. All right. So I want to clarify the High Priestess for Cancer. Clarify the High Priestess. So there might be issues with a past person, a significant other that they're still healing from, issues that they're going through, and they might even have children together, as I mentioned. And I feel like that particular arrangement may be breaking down, and you're trying to be patient with it, but it's an emotional distraction for some. And I feel like some of you might be having dreams that affect you from a past relationship partner, where you're trying to move on from it, but you might even have resentment, a lot of hurt and pain that goes through it, even secrecy that's very deep and personal to you both. And sometimes it really has you down about certain things. And we're going to look into clarify the 8 of Swords in reverse for Cancer. So yeah, I feel like that's part of you might be dealing with someone else who's trying to be very sensitive and caring to another person that they're moving on from as well, and also them just trying to be much stronger for themselves and be able to take care of themselves in order for you two to be in a healthy connection. So that's what it seems like to me the month. It's dominating the reading for a lot of you out there, so just keep those things in mind. All right, so let's see messages for Cancer and love for September 2018. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So it might be very tough for a lot of you out there, because I feel like that's where you might be going through the emotions. So it's like a fair warning, as it doesn't mean that you won't get a chance to open up to somebody, but I feel if you're waiting for somebody, or if you had a breakup, a mild separation, this month might be the energy where you kind of realize what's going on behind the scenes, the reasons why your partner is not communicating, and taking some time for yourself so that you can strategize about changes that you could make to start to build up that momentum to manifest things in your life that's going to work out in the future. So keep those things in mind. All right, I do hope that the messages did help you out. Tons of love, lots of light, tons of healing vibes as well. And you can always go to the website psychicloveheals.com to schedule something for your energy. All right, the phone readings won't be an option at this time, but the other options are available. All right, have a good one.